Stuart Tudor-Owen from Deloitte, a very warm welcome to the Red Zone. Now, you've been in the position for 4 months, so you're fairly new in the job, but a major business consultancy and an audit firm. How do you see yourselves as a brand?
I'm pleased that you refer to us as a consultancy first and an audit company second. We have a history of being seen as purely audit, but very much we position ourselves as a business advisory brand, be it on the assurance side, the audit, the risk side of things, or indeed in the consulting side, whether it's in the strategy and what have you.
But that audit overhang is still there, isn't it?
There's absolutely a perception of us as auditors, and with that is a sort of type of people we have. And if you'll forgive me the plug, we're running an ad campaign at the moment which talks about people rather than about services. So there is a perception, but we're increasingly finding that shifting.
Your own brand, how would you see that as different to an ordinary financial services brand?
We're a big organisation with a huge offering, as I said, right from the sort of advisory consulting heartland into the sort of assurances and stuff. So the sweet spot, if you like, is really around adding the value in terms of advising companies, sectors, and the leaders in those businesses of where and what they should be thinking about. The
different disciplines that exist within a big consulting firm like Deloitte, everything from information technology on the one hand to executive leadership on the other. Surely from a branding perspective, it's difficult to get all of those strands and pull them together into one unique value proposition.
It is
or not, I don't know, maybe it's very easy.
It is a challenge, it is difficult. I think, there's what I call the sort of table stakes of what we do, and we're no different to our competitors in that we have sort of integrity, we have quality of the output, we have very bright people working for us. And it really all has to be packaged together for a relationship sell, if you like. We're about advising leaders of existing businesses on what they should be doing, what they should be thinking about. So if you like, that's kind of the sweet spot that we're looking at.
Very competitive space that you're working in right now. There are lots of other people are doing this.
Very competitive. You talk about the big four, and that's just in the audit business, which is, if you like, less than half of what we do. In the consultancy, the advisory business, very competitive. Anything from the big four who do similar work to the McKinseys and the strategy houses, and right into sort of the periphery, what I call it, niche consultancies, marketing agencies, those type of things.
Is there a brand ethos that runs through the organization? Are people aware of the Deloitte brand, and are they adhering to the principles, or is that something which is fairly new to a group of people like that?
There's a local sort of positioning and ethos, if you like, as well as the global, and I think in both of them there is really this notion of performance. We're a very high-performing organisation with very driven individuals that power it, and it's really about innovation of thought, of ideas, of new ways of tackling business problems. So I think that's probably the sort of golden thread, if you like.
Let's move away from the Deloitte brand and let's talk about some of the work that your company is doing, perhaps in the marketing space for your clients. I was talking to the leader of an ad agency recently, and he said to me his biggest competitor is Deloitte. So advertising agencies, marketing agencies are starting to see themselves playing in that business space. So you're almost competing at that level too, aren't you?
Well, to my earlier point, exactly. The sort of the competitive set is vast. Certainly when you're in a business like ours that has such a wide range of products and services. I think from a client or a customer point of view, it's the old, what's the added value that you're bringing? How are you helping my business move forward? And I could imagine that the advertising agencies are feeling that same pressure, that they have to demonstrate beyond creativity, bottom line assistance, if you like.
What value would Deloitte add into that marketing space that an ad agency can't do?
Without wanting to knock what the advertising guys do.
Well, feel free to knock them if you want to.
We would certainly not sort of bill ourselves as creative experts, but certainly, the sort of the intellectual rigor, the tools and processes that we apply to the work we do in our strategy work, in our technology work, there's a sort of rigor there, if you like, and it's a very niche target audience that we target. It's captains of industry, it's the leadership, it's the decision makers in business. So targeting the same bottom line, but probably talking to a slightly different set of customers, if you like.
How do you think the role of the modern marketing director has changed?
I think it's moving so fast now. If you look at even in a targeted niche target market that we have, the need to sort of herd and corral and target your marketing programs has got faster and more complex. You used to just have a couple of media, for example, to choose from to put a message out if you were advertising. Now you've got a vast array. So the fragmentation aspect. I think also consumers and like our clients themselves demand more. Their attention spans are shorter, so you've got to work faster and cut through quicker. So it's
which
no different.
Segues nicely into the final question then, the role of modern media or social media. It's a place that Deloitte itself is playing in quite actively. What advice are you giving to people who also want to play in that particular space?
In our own digital marketing efforts, we've come a long way. We certainly see ourselves as hopefully leading our competitive set. And it's really about going beyond presence now to actually doing something. So to my earlier comments around adding value, it's around how do we see it as just another channel, if you pardon the phrase, and how do we deliver something to our clients and customers. So we've very much moved beyond a Facebook and a homepage type of thing, but saying how is it a delivery mechanism to get across information about our products, encourage a sort of dialogue with clients, prospective clients, and even with talent, attracting the right kinds of employees. So that's been an exciting area for us, and we're using it more and more to deliver messaging.
Stuart Tudor-Owen from Deloitte, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jeremy.